So please switch off your camera and camera. So,
Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham is one of India's premier top-ranked universities, which focuses on transforming lives through learning, research, and innovation. The university was established 19 years ago in the year 2003 and has made significant achievements in a short time. Education for life, education for living. Amrita University is guided by the thoughtfulness of our Chancellor, Amma, who laid down the philosophy of education for life by placing equal stress on education for a living. It is this vision that led to the establishment of a vast network of educational institutions that provide modern education while imparting the traditional values. While the pursuit of academic excellence forms the core of Amrita's success, it also undertakes the responsibility to shape the whole character of youngsters with love, care, and compassion. The university is headquartered at the foothills of the Western Ghats in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and has 5 other campuses spread across South India in Amritapuri, Kerala, Kochi, Kerala, Bengaluru, Karnataka, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and Mysore, Karnataka. The university will soon launch its new campuses in Amravati, Andhra Pradesh, Faridabad, Delhi, NCR. Our inspiration, a renowned humanitarian leader and spiritual leader, Amma, is the Chancellor and guiding light of Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Amma's concept of education, stress on research, and commitment to instilling universal values have come together to shape Amrita into an institution where the latest achievements and discoveries combined with compassion and service-mindedness. As Amma said in 2010, when the State University of New York presented her with an honorary doctorate in humane letters. Rankings. The multi-campus, multidisciplinary research establishment is ranked as 5th best university in India 2021 by National Institutional Ranking Framework, NIRF. We have also been accorded the status of Institute of Eminence, IOE, by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. A testament to our pursuit of excellence is the NAC A++ accreditation score, the highest possible. NAC accreditation measures universities for excellence in curricular aspects, teaching, learning and evaluation, research, innovations and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices, global impact and international collaborations. Among the private educational institutions in the country, Amrita has entered into MOUs and collaborations with more than 450 leading universities around the globe. Students also benefit from our relations with industries and interactions with top management of multinational companies. These collaborations facilitate student exchange programs, student visits, industrial training, and project guidance under reputed corporate entities. Placements. Placements at Amrita have always been best in class, with students usually having more than 1 job offer. Some students have up to 3 job offers by the end of their course from reputed MNCs, be it engineering, management, life sciences, arts or sciences. Amrita is a place where the world's best companies look for talent. More than 200 companies visit the campus every year, and the average salary offered to our students is 5.8 lakh per annum. Meanwhile, the highest package offered is 56.95 lakh per annum, and the highest stipend for internship is rupees 80,000 per month. Amrita's Technology Business Incubator, TBI, is a non-profit supported by the Government of India that funds, mentors, and nurtures ideas by startups and entrepreneurs. It focuses on developing innovations in the areas of information technology, cybersecurity, networking, social media, and more. The TBI startups have obtained multiple awards and recognition, both from India and across the globe. Till date, TBI has incubated more than 75 startups and mentored 216 startup ideas with 0% loss from investments. It funds up to 1 crore rupees per startup and has opened up many more funding options through its partnership with venture capital firms and angel investor networks. Amrita TBI is one of the only 6 incubators selected to be world-class under Niti Aayog's Atal Innovation Mission. Campus life, a home away from home. At Amrita, we believe in a holistic approach towards our students' development. To augment students' classroom learning, all campuses provide students with digital and central libraries, quiet study centers, seminar halls, e-learning studios, computer labs, and campus-wide free Wi-Fi. The university encourages both indoor and outdoor sports and games, and there are world-class swimming pools, gymnasiums, stadiums, and games arenas. Various clubs cater to the artistic and scientific minds of the students. If you look around all of Amrita's campuses, you will see the prevailing educational environment is in communion with nature. The sand, the seas, and the sky define the backdrop of these temples of learning. It vibrates with an energy of togetherness and encourages us to live in harmony with everything around us, including a unity within ourselves. This setting is suited to instill both learners and the learned with the courage and wisdom to face the challenges of life. The campus at Etimane is considered India's most picturesque. It is like an oasis in a desert. What started out as a barren landscape underwent a miraculous transformation through the university's tree planting project. Today, there are more than 1 lakh trees growing there, the most extensive collection in number and species on a university campus in South India. The Live-in Labs program originated from Amma's idea to bridge the rural and urban divide by sending university students to remote villages in India to understand the everyday difficulties faced by people living there. The program is designed to be a multidisciplinary real-life learning experience offered to both international participants and Amrita University's faculty and students. The lab's objective is to expose youths to day-to-day problems faced in rural communities with a 2-week to 6-month periods of live-in internships in Indian villages. It also aims to inspire them to dedicate the knowledge and skills they acquired at university to help develop practical, cost-effective solutions to the challenges faced by the villages. Researchers at Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham partner with senior scientists at world's leading research universities to innovate new ideas and invent new products, applying existing technology towards solving some of the world's most pressing problems, from disaster management to assuring access to education and the management and cure of diseases. This effort reflects in Amrita's national and international research rankings. India's first UNESCO Chair on Women's Empowerment and Gender Equality. Empowerment through Innovation and Technology. The Center for Women Empowerment and Gender Equality is a research-focused academic center for promoting gender equality and fostering women's empowerment, with a special focus on using technology and other innovative methods. This center will offer diverse courses in key focus areas, pilot radical ideas, and collaborate with leading universities and institutions. The Amala Bharadam campaign, ABC, Clean India campaign, was a program pioneered by Amrita, aimed at improving public health and restoring India's physical beauty. The project was launched in 2010 during Amma's 57th birthday celebrations, and through this campaign, volunteers undertake periodic cleaning of roads, markets, temples, government offices, and hospitals. As a part of this campaign, garbage was sorted and either recycled or properly disposed of. Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, along with Kerala's Prisons and Correctional Services and Tamil Nadu Prison Department, initiated Amrita Yoga classes and IIM Technique meditation sessions in 2018 to address and transform the physical, mental, and emotional health of prison inmates. Our goal is to teach yoga and meditation techniques to help the prison inmates become more self-aware. They learn to breathe with awareness and manage emotions through these exercises. Ours is a changing world. It needs people who can adapt to change, with minds that can expand and include change, and yet hold human-friendly values that can withstand all changes. Which is why the world needs education that shapes the minds of these people, and which is why the world needs Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Education for life, education for living. A university where future is driven by imagination. Experiential learning creates diverse opportunities, where industry exposure and international partnerships help you sail. Come, start your journey towards success with Amrita University.
There's a place where the best minds come together, work to end inequalities, work towards transforming lives. This is a place recognized as one of the world's best universities. This is Amrita, now ranked among the top 100 universities in the world and ranked number 1 in India. Amrita University.
There's a reason why we pick up the highest grades nationally and internationally, year after year after year. That reason is you. Now, with an A++ accreditation from NAC and consistent rankings among the top universities in NIRF, Amrita, we get recognized because you must.
A wonderful evening, and I'm pleased to hear for today's webinar, the Great Amrita Alumni Conclave, a full-fledged virtual webinar series led by the Amrita's most distinguished alumni, which will lead the session with an extensive knowledge of the futuristic scope and the opportunities. So today, we're joined by one of our most illustrious alumni from the Bangalore campus MBA MS program, Ananta Krishnan, head of the global business CO's GEF Group, Dubai, who will discuss the international business and the overseas market development. He's a management professional with an MS in business analytics and a systems from the University at Buffalo, having an in-depth knowledge in the marketing functions like strategic brand management, integrated marketing communications, sales and distribution management, market research. And he also holds the certifications in the HR functions, including the industrial relationships, psychometric testing, competency-based HR functions, and retention management. Worked in various capacities for over 9+ years, which includes the industrial exposures and experiences in handling international business and the key accounts. So the industrial exposures includes areas in the medical, FMCG, herbal cosmetics, Ayurvedic medicines, hospital care, and electrical and electronics. So traveled over 32 countries across Asian, Middle Eastern, CIS, African, East European continents, exposed to the cross-cultural, multilingual environments and multi-agency integrated partnership with innumerable contacts and a valuable relationship with importers and distributors. He has an in-depth knowledge of an international negotiation, transactional operations, brand building, category management, team leaderships, and training. We are pleased to have Ananthakrishnan with us today. Over to you, Ananthakrishnan.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Sebastian. And in fact, it's my pleasure to be back with Amrita. And thank you so much for the team for inviting me and giving an opportunity to discuss with my even Amritians. So we'll start off with the presentation, Sebastian.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. Can you please share and confirm if my screen is visible?
No. Did you share?
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Make it a presentation mode. Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So in our today's discussion, we will be, as Sebastian mentioned, we'll be discussing about few aspects of international business and what is the significance and a brief overview of what global business is all about and what is the current scenario of global business and how companies are approaching international business or global business scenarios. So I've actually structured today's presentation in a way so that it becomes clear for each and everyone, starting off with what international business is all about, then going to nature and scope of international business, then the current significance of international business in pre-COVID and post-COVID scenarios. We'll talk about both separately, and what are the key approaches in global business, what are the key aspects, then the key challenges involved in international business, what is the entry strategy? Say, for example, a company wanted to enter in a global marketing scenarios. What is the entry strategy which a company should be adopting? All of those things we will discuss in brief. Then the pros and cons, recent developments happening in the segment of international business, and a few international organizations which acts as a pillar of the global business. So when we talk about international business, people might get confused what exactly the global business is all about. So I will be giving you a brief insight of how it is. So commercial transactions which involve two or more countries, it could be private entities, it could be a government-to-government transactions, it could be a sale between two entities. One could be in the domestic market and one could be a foreign market. Even throughout this presentation, when I mean a domestic market, it is the market where country of origin of the brand exists, meaning where the product is being exported to a foreign country or an overseas market. So that is when we term it as international business or a global business. And then it could be anything which related to investments. See, an Apple as a brand which wanted to invest in it in another country for learning and development center or R&D center, it could be termed as an investment. So then in that case, that investment is also termed as international business or global business for the parent brand Apple. Then the third aspect is the logistics. When we talk about logistics, it could be anything related to movement of goods from one country to another country. And it doesn't need a parent company, I mean parent brand or a second subsidiary or distribution company. So this is termed as global business or international business. Now moving forward, we will discuss in detail of about nature and scope of the global business or international business. In this, we will cover what is the size and global platform, then what do you mean by market segmentation, and all of those things in detail. So let us have an example in place to discuss about the nature and scope. Taking a hypothetical example of Philips Medicals or Philips as a company. So they wanted to enter in a new market. Say, for example, Europe as a new market, they wanted to enter. What is the kind of strategy which they should adopt? They might be, or the company A might be competent in the domestic market and they wanted to enter in a new market. What should be the strategy they should be adopting? They should understand what is the kind of entry barriers in a new market. What is the kind of registrations requirement? And in what category is their product belong to? And all of those things, they should do a kind of market research and potential analysis has to be done before launching any brand in any new market. So then a question might arise. Why a brand which is solidly present in their home country, why they should enter taking all this risk and enter in a new market? So a branded company like Philips should understand there is a much more scope in considering global business or other regions. Say, for example, if a brand is present in India and if they wanted to expand to other territories, then potentially they are increasing their revenue aspects. Second aspect is the brand identity. So all of those things, they should be considering, or from a management or leadership perspective, they should be looking at one, the revenue as an aspect, secondly, brand building as an exercise, and third aspect or critical aspect is the human resource. Human resource is one of the key aspects of any brand development. So when a company plans to expand its territory of operations to a foreign country, they will be getting an exposure to have multiple or foreign nationals, or they will have an opportunity to involve in or get an opportunity to hire new resources, which is from a foreign markets. So we'll be having an exposure, or we'll be having multiple team members working towards that organization, which will obviously give more significance, or which will leverage the company to have their competency added to the brand. So all of those things are key criteria or key aspects a brand should consider while entering in global markets or global business scenarios. Then the critical aspect is the foreign exchange. Any country of that matter will have the foreign exchange or foreign funds coming to their portfolio while entering into a new territory. a potential company, say hypothetical example again, a company A which is operating well in India is planning to enter in any new markets, then obviously while exporting its products or services to another country, are directly bringing in foreign exchange to its parent country. That's where the Ministry of Commerce or Ministry of Foreign Affairs is directly promoting exporting. So, which is directly linked to increasing the foreign reserve. That's one of the primary aspects why the company is involving or engaging in or trying to enter in new markets. Now, going ahead, as I mentioned in the previous slide, what are all the significance? Now we will talk about scale of operations. So when a brand is operating in a domestic country, it will have a boundary associated to it. We can't further expand its business, one with respect to revenue, secondly with respect to brand identity and the kind of customers involved. We can't expand. So having said that, the scale of operations is one of the key thing or key aspects which any company should be considerative of before entering into new markets. Now, the second one is integration of economies. What do you mean by integration of economies? Integration of economies is nothing other than, it is like basically considering 2 or 3 countries as a single entity. Now, to make it more simpler, European market, say if a company wanted to enter in Europe or Romania as a market in Europe, so then again, as I mentioned previously, they should consider what are the prevailing laws or prevailing registration requirements for a brand, if it is a brand. If it is a product, or if it is a service or any other aspects of business, then again they should understand the kind of operating structure, operating process, and operating laws, all of those things in detail. So integrating economies means, say Romania, as I mentioned, it is in European region. So Europe, across Europe, they will be having a completely one unique set of laws, which gives a company free to operate once they register in European Union. So that's a kind of experience, or that's a kind of leverage which this principal company is getting while entering in Romania. So once registered in European Union, they can freely enter in any other markets of European Union. Similarly, in Middle East, UAE is one of the entity country which the principal company wanted to enter. In that case, these complete Gulf corporation will be having a unique set of laws. Once they plan to enter in UAE, it becomes easier to enter in neighboring countries. So that's a kind of economies or that is meant by integrated economies. Now mostly the developed or MNCs are operating in developed countries, and they will also be entering in other developing countries like Africa. Why? Because there is a lot of funding happening from international organizations like many of the NGOs, or it could be any of the international trading organizations. So these are all aspects or significance by which any company or any brand should enter in any of the markets. Now, moving on, what are all the key aspects or key criterion or of science and technology in international business? Nowadays, like as I mentioned, pre-COVID, it was mostly offline meetings, offline discussions, which involves a lot of cost. Like for example, if I wanted to travel to a foreign country, there is a cost involved, and then try to meet any kind of potential clients. It was a cost burden for the company. Now, after COVID, the companies, most of the companies has moved to an offline kind of a working model, where it involves science and technology. Now, see, even now we are discussing, even I'm actually based out of Dubai, and the audience might be in different parts of the world. So these are all critical aspects. Now, Zoom, we are actually leveraging science and technology with respect to Zoom is one of the platform where I mean, people started using recently, and it could be MS Teams. So all of those developments happening in science and technology also adds up to enhancement in global business. Now, what do you mean by business risk or spreading business risk? Apple as a brand is operational in almost all the countries, and 40% of the revenue is being generated from a US market, and rest of the 60% is from other markets. Now, see, for example, if one of the market where Apple is operating is having some kind of issues, say it could be potential risk with respect to COVID, and considering the fact that that market is being under lockdown and will not be able to function any of the factories and will not be able to have considerable amount of sale. In that case, what will happen is the sales or the revenue of the Apple as a brand will drop off, which will impact the global revenue or global sales. So what do you mean by spreading business risk is in such scenarios, one of the countries not generating or contributing revenue to the global revenue share, we can focus on alternate countries, and which will in turn cover up the revenue lacks in the country which is not able to generate. Such cases, the Apple as a brand can focus on other countries which is bringing in more sales and or more revenues, and which will cover up the overall global shares, and which can bring in consistency in the brand performance. So these are all one of key significance of international business. Then obviously one point which I missed out is the benefits from government, which is also one of the key aspect. In India, we have export incentives being floated to companies where which is directly linked for enhancing the production or enhancing the export activities. So how the benefit can be leveraged to any companies is like, say, when we are exporting any product or services to a specified country, the government of India gives us incentives. So this incentive is being directly linked to the foreign reserve. So whenever we are exporting to Europe, a equivalent foreign reserve is coming to India. So this scheme is floated more to progress or enhance the export activities. So these are all some of the significance of global business. Moving on. Now, what are all the key approaches? As I mentioned in previously, there are key aspects or key approaches in international business. One is ethnocentric approach, which means the primary focus of the brand is its own home country, and export is being done. Why? Because there is an excessive production happening in the domestic country, and the focus is not on foreign market. Focus is only on domestic market. So that is ethnocentric approach of international business. Now, the second aspect is polycentric approach. Polycentric approach means whenever there is a plan to expand to other countries, so still again the primary focus remains the parent country, and so it could be anything related to neighboring countries, and there is no alternation of the product portfolios, but obviously there will be some kind of customization happening in products and services. One example could be any of the personal care brand which is operating in India. So if they wanted to enter in and a typical example is Malaysian market, then obviously they wanted to have a customized bottle. A bottle as I'm taking an example of personal care. That's why I'm just giving an example of bottles. It could be creams, lotions, or anything on those lines. So if they wanted to enter in Malaysia as a market, they should have a different kind of packaging. That is one. Secondly, they should have a different labels. Malaysian, the local language labels has to be there. So it's basically customizing the products and the existing products and services, matching the requirements of the destination country. So that's meant by a polycentric approach. Now, the third aspect is a regiocentric or a regional approach. In the regional approach, so as I mentioned before, so a brand A which is present in any of the regions, see it could be Middle East. So if they wanted to have they wanted to have a present in neighboring countries, like North America, North Africa is surrounded by Middle East. So if they wanted to enter in neighboring countries, they will again slightly alter its kind of packaging, and then they will route the products from the destination country to the neighboring country. So that's meant by a regiocentric approach. Now, the geocentric approach is basically adopted by multinational firms. One example could be Reckitt Benckiser, which is having operations in most of the territories as in most of the regions. So in South African regions, they will have a different plant. In Asia, they will have a different plant. Likewise, in each regions, they will have a different kind of products and services, which is matching the requirement of a specific region. So now moving on. So this is one of the key aspects and a key structure of international business. One would be a direct export. Second is indirect. A direct export, as you and you people directly know, it could be there could be two countries, as I mentioned previously. Country A, which is the origin country, and country B, which is the exporting the destination country. So a brand which is being manufactured in country A has to be sent to a country of destination B, then it is known as direct export. And indirect export is export, the brand which is being exported by a third party company. So that is known as indirect export. Still, it is from A to B, but it is not directly from the manufacturer. It is by a third party company which is exporting, which is known as indirect export. Now, the second aspect is, as I mentioned previously, any company or any brand which is planning to enter in any of the foreign markets should understand what are the requirements of the destination market, or the market which is termed as B. A is known as country of origin, and B is the country of or the destination country. Then the brand who wanted to enter in country B should understand one, the registration requirements, as in product registration. What is the trademark registration requirement? Then what is the kind of products and services which is accepted in the market, and how long it takes for the registration. These are all aspects which should be considered before entering into another country. So now the fourth aspect is, after registration or after the trademark registration or the complete formalities of the brand with respect to regulation is done, then the third aspect should be the distribution or franchising. What kind of a franchising or a distribution model which a company should adopt? So again, depending upon the strategy of a company, it is purely based on the strategy aligned with the leadership. Then they should adopt either franchising or the distribution or retailing of the products and services in the destination country. Now, The other fourth point which I wanted to discuss here is foreign assembly units. So just to give you a typical example, diaper manufacturing plant in China, they wanted to enter in Angola as a market. So in that case, Angola as a country, they are reluctant to Chinese product or Chinese finished goods. So in such cases, what the principal company will do is to have a kind of assembly unit which is set up in Angola, where the raw materials is being exported to the destination country, where it is being assembled, and then subsequently make it as a finished good and make it available in the respective stores or the retail platforms. Now, turnkey operations is where the principal company will be having an operating facility or a manufacturing unit in the overseas market. And there is possibility of having a foreign tie-up, as in foreign buyer or foreign investor can also be in place. So the sixth point is foreign production subsidiary, which is more or likely towards what I'm explained in foreign assembly. It should be directly linked with an establishment. It could be a what do you call repackaging unit. It could be anything which is with related to production, or it could be anything on those lines. Foreign production subsidiary, most of the MNCs or most of the companies which is operating in production segment, they used to adopt this kind of a policy. Now we talk about international firms, multinational corporations, and joint ventures. International firms and multinational corporations are more or less, as I explained in my previous slides, it is nothing to do with exporting, but still it is having, like as I mentioned in Rekin Benkai's case, each regions in different segments, they will be having their own manufacturing plant to address the regional requirements for products and services. And now moving forward, it is joint ventures. Joint ventures is any foreign firm which is directly investing in a principal company. Principal company which wanted to enter in any new markets is known as joint ventures. Now, foreign direct investment, which is again the example which I mentioned. Apple wanted to have a R&D and a learning development center in India. In such case, Apple as a brand is investing in India, which can be directly considered as a foreign direct investment. Now, pros and cons of international business. One is faster growth. Then second is enhanced quality and efficiency. Then new market opportunities and diversification. It has been clearly explained in my previous slides as well. One is expanding the branded business to different regions, which will in turn directly hit to the revenue of any organization, or which will in turn directly hit to the sales of the brand. That's why most of the brand enter in global business. Second is the identity, brand identity. So these are the two key reasons why any brand is investing or time in global business or international business. Then obviously diversification. See for example, a brand has n number of products which is specifically manufactured for its home country. Then after expanding to different territories, they will understand, or after doing a research, they will get to know a few more a few more products can be leveraged out of the existing technology. That's where the company will earn a lot of profit. Secondly, earn a lot of experience in product development. So all of those things are considered as advantages of entering in international business. Now, the critical challenge in front of entering in new foreign market is operating cost. As I mentioned previously, pre-COVID, the offline meetings or it could be anything related to brand investment, marketing. All of those things were on a higher side. So these are all key aspects where it directly hit your uh, operating cost. Now, the second major disadvantage is foreign regulations and standards. Each region, like Europe, North America, or it could be Middle East, they have a specific set of guidelines for each product which comes under each segment. So it is a bit riskier to enter into these markets without understanding their regulations and standards. Now, the financial risk. Financial risk is nothing but like if one of the typical example would be entering in Africa as a market where there is shortage of foreign reserve. Um, Kenya as a market recently has dropped forex in a bad way. So entering in such market requires a lot of careful study and observation. Then the complex organization structure. So when we talk about multiple countries, it's not about what do you call considering it as a one entity. It will have different entities, multiple risk associated to it, and structuring of different financial implications. All of those things has to be considered. Now, why most of the firms are recently entering in international business or global business? One is the expansion of technology, enhancement in logistics. Logistics has become seamless, and the transportation cost and bilateral agreements between countries. So see, in India as a country, India has been investing its fruitful time in having bilateral agreements between different countries to enable free trade. So these are all key criterias or key aspects considered in front of any brand while entering in any new markets. Then liberalization in cross-border movement. Then World Bank is funding different organizations. World Bank is also funding different countries in terms of its development, whereby the brand and products has been, showing an upward movement. So these are all key growth trajectory objectives. Now, as I mentioned previously, the pillars or the organizations which act as a pillar for international businesses: World Trade Organization, European Community, North American Free Trade Agreements, and Asian Free Trade Agreements. These are all a couple of organizations which stand as an identity of global business. That's all from my side, and over to you for any questions or answers or any doubts which you may have. I'm happy to answer that.
Yeah, thank you, Anand. I'm just waiting if there is any questions from the audience side. So no questions. So anyways, thank you, Anand, for your valuable
Thank you so
time.
much.
And the topic
Thank you.
is so very important, for today's business environment, and you touch based on all the important aspects of it. And I'm sure that you would be given a good amount of information to the audience. Thank you, Ananta Krishnan, for adding one extra feather to the, the Amrita, the great Amrita Alumni Conclave.